Well, we are with Jerzy Pomianowski, that is the Executive Director of the European Endowment for Democracy. Thank you for visiting Elcano Royal Institute.
Thank you very much.
Would you mind to explain us the mission of the European Endowment for Democracy?
With my pleasure. First of all, thank you very much for the invitation. It's my great pleasure to be here in Madrid and in Elcano Institute. European Endowment for Democracy is a new mechanism that was set up by the European Union and member states just 2 years ago. This is a private law foundation that provides grants to democracy fighters, human rights fighters, but also all kinds of initiatives that are supporting democratic values in the neighborhood of Europe, mostly in the southern neighborhood and in the eastern neighborhood. So altogether we operate in 15 countries, and what is special about endowment that we are operating independently from governments, and we also operate directly with the civil society, regardless whether the legal environment in the given country allows or legal environment in the given country, especially authoritarian country, does not allow. So we have this flexibility, and this is a very specific mission of the endowment to support people who want to do in their country something for democratic value. We do not support any group that declares violence, and we do not support any extreme groups that are in their agenda anti-core human rights and democratic values. But at the same time, if they are having political agenda, if they one day want to be elected to parliament, we don't think it is a problem for us. We also support such groups who have a clear political agenda as well. In case of the type of the projects, this is a big variety of the projects because we are open to all kinds of actions that are related to promoting democratic values. It could be culture, it could be even a film festival, it could be a song written by the popular group. But it can be also a typical advocacy campaign, bringing people together, presenting some kind of position, building a group of activists that are lobbying. So let me give you a few examples. In case of Morocco, recently we promoted a special song that was inviting young people to come to vote and to do something for their country together through voting process, through election. Because young people generally in Morocco were not even registering themselves as voters, not mentioning participating in elections. And this song that was financed by EED has reached 3 million of viewers in YouTube. So 3 million of viewers, it means 3 million young people were listening to the song that is not about love, but is about let's go and vote. Doesn't sound very sexy, but turns out to be very popular. So these are the campaigns, the actions that we feel are a bit innovative and opening eyes to different ways of dealing with the same problem. In case of, for example, Ukraine, we supported a civil society group that in the moment of transition, in the moment of revolution, where the government structures were not working, this group of activists organized a group of experts, 150 experts, that were writing legislation that were needed for the quick transition. And those legislation were sabotaged in the ministries because the ministries were still belonging to old guard, to old bureaucrats who were basically not knowing what to do because the political leadership was still in process of transition. So in this moment, society took this role of replacing government structure in the simple task to write new legislation. So the people sitting in some room outside of the parliament, outside of the ministry, good lawyers, good experts on different issues, they were writing legislation and they were submitting directly to parliament. So the civil society group, for the short moment of transition, has substituted a state structure. That kind of support that we are trying to do.
Thank you very much. One of your main issues in which you focus your activities is gender issues. Would you mind to give us an example of a project for empowering women in the south or in the east of our neighborhood?
Yes, the empowering women and the gender issue is extremely relevant, especially in the southern neighborhood. So almost all our projects, or majority of them, they have some important gender aspect within those projects. With the gender agenda, the most difficult part is not just to say that this is a project about the gender or about empowering women. The most difficult thing is to make the project that outside doesn't look like a gender to be really involved. So, for example, when we have a project from a group of young people who wants to organize kind of debate training, we are always asking how many women leaders will speak, how many young women will participate in this project. So they immediately understand that this is important, that is also an element they have to look at. But we have also projects that are very, very focused on specifically women in specific environment. This environment is in Lebanon, for example. We have a project in Bekaa Valley where there is a very strong position of Hezbollah. So in this environment, the project that unites 8 small associations into one bigger association, and associations of women in that region that basically do work on daily basis. They provide support for each other, training, they exchange some kind of services, they take care of women that is beaten by husband or something like this, or they just do a training how to start small business. So they do a lot of very standard activities that you would name, but in this context, in the Bekaa Valley, because of the strong presence of Hezbollah, it is extremely apolitical as well. Mm-hmm. So here we have a good mixture of the gender agenda and the very strong political agenda.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you very much for your time and for this extraordinary interview with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much.